I'm telling you, I mean, like, it changed, I mean, like, food. I mean, it changed the way that we ate in a lot of ways, right? And when I say that recent pandemic forced a lot of closures. A lot of restaurants couldn't last, right? And okay, now everything comes back down to this. This is a podcast really about entrepreneurship. We talk about a lot of things business. We talk about entrepreneurship, and a lot of people, when they think of entrepreneurship being owning their own business, a lot of people's minds drift towards restaurants because it's something that everybody everybody experiences and everybody knows. Oh yeah, restaurant owners, that's an entrepreneur, and they are. But that form of entrepreneurship suffered greatly. Okay, though some of them kicked ass during that time, right?
Yeah.
If your business model was primarily delivery, right, you kicked ass, right? Because even during that time where people couldn't go out to pick stuff up, you could deliver, right? So places like pizza places just ruled during the pandemic, right? Pizza places, that's the perfect model. And on top of that, pizza places had this really, that moment in time was like the perfect storm for success as a pizza place. Okay, we talk about this a lot. Like for example, in the coffee business, what's the most expensive component for a place like Starbucks when they make their coffee and they give it to you to consume? When they make you a cup of coffee, what's the most expensive thing? I mean, no matter what kind of coffee it is, black coffee, those fancy blended drinks, what's the most expensive single component in a serving of Starbucks?
I mean,
like if you
syrup.
No, yeah, okay. So if you take everything they have to put together to make that product to hand to you, and you're going to drive away with it, what's the single most expensive thing?
It might be the cup.
It is the cup. Okay, the cup is the most expensive thing. Okay, so let's flip that around and let's talk about pizza. When it comes to pizza, what's the single most expensive thing that goes into making the pizza for you?
So is it the box?
No, it's not the box.
Yeah, I was like, it gotta be the pizza.
Well, no, but
delivery?
No, things go into the pizza. I mean, like, all the things that make a pizza, right? There's tomato sauce, there's dough. I mean, like, all the stuff that makes a pizza. That is it. The cheese. The cheese is the most expensive component in the whole pizza. But during that pandemic, the price of cheese fell through the floor. Right? So this is the perfect storm. Suddenly, their competition was eliminated. See, if you wanted to order Papa John's or Domino's, you were also considering other options. Oh, I'm going to go get takeout Chinese food, right? Or I'm going to eat in at McDonald's. So there's a lot of options out there. But that situation eliminated everything except for delivery for a period of time. You couldn't go to the restaurant to pick it up. You had to have it delivered for a period of time. Okay, and then after a while, you had to pick it up. You couldn't dine in, right? They were perfectly positioned for that, right? So their model is delivery. And their most expensive component is cheese. Cheese prices dropped through the floor because so what is the competition for cheese purchasing? What other businesses buy a lot of cheese besides pizza places?
I can go. I mean, I would say like burger places. Are you talking about just restaurants?
Well, no. I mean, that's the thing. All the other restaurants buy a lot of cheese, right? Hospitality, hotels, restaurants. Were any of them open during this time? No. So the demand for cheese plummeted. Only people buying cheese were the pizza places, really. Okay, and the funny thing about cheese is that there was this huge amount of cheese ready to be delivered during that cycle. And so the low cheese prices didn't last the whole time.
No.
In the beginning it did, because there was all this cheese ready to be, because the cheese manufacturers, the dairy people, were manufacturing their product for all the hospitality places that they expected to service. And all of a sudden, they wouldn't, right? So they had to blow that cheese out. So suddenly, you had cheese going for pennies on the, I mean, like super cheap cheese, and no competition. So pizza places just suddenly found themselves ruling the whole landscape of food. Okay, It's funny, and I get this from an interview that H3 Productions did with Papa John himself.
Mm.
They interviewed him during the early stages of the pandemic, and he talked about the price of. He talked about why pizza places are really just kicking ass at that moment in time. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, right? You got to be careful about what you do. You have to realize that no matter how good the idea is, how great the business plan looks, something could step in and throw a wrench into your works, right? Something like the pandemic could suddenly take an awesome idea and shut it down. Okay,
yeah.
something like what we got going on now with the way the government is handling things, right? Some businesses have suffered, right, because of the way things are happening right now. Okay, so there's always something going on, but the pandemic, it also gave rise to another thing that I don't agree with. Okay, delivery apps.
You don't believe in delivery apps?
Well, not that I don't believe in them; they definitely exist, right? But here's the thing. Now, from a practical point of view, now I realize that a lot of the stuff that I have pet peeves about, see, they're my personal pet peeves. And if a business is good, I mean, I would do a business that I didn't particularly like if it was a cash cow.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that it shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that as a consumer, I try not to use them because delivery apps typically add a cost to something, right? And it affects quality, right? Why would you pay extra money to have somebody deliver your Starbucks to you? Right?
I wouldn't have people deliver Starbucks, but like from being in a restaurant and like dealing with restaurant business, it does like maximize and give you a certain actual, like, how can I say, guarantee profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the restaurant I'm in now will probably get about 20, probably more, about like 40 like orders through DoorDash and Uber Eats.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and it's funny because like we charge more on DoorDash than Uber Eats.
I mean, from a business perspective, I see it, but I'm talking about for myself. See, so and I've taught you guys this before, and the people in our coaching group, you'd never see, if I was trying to evaluate a delivery app or a delivery business opportunity, I wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't look at it from my personal perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because what I feel about it is not necessarily how the public feels. So,
right.
So what I'm talking about right now, I'm not saying it's a bad business model. I'm just saying for me as a consumer, I just couldn't understand. I mean, like, and me and Jerome talked about this at length about coffee, especially because Jerome knows somebody who gets Starbucks delivered to them daily.
Right.
Right. It's like, man, okay, now if you're totally made of money, it doesn't matter, right? I guess, but it does in a way, right? Certain products, the best time to consume it is when it's handed right to you. You guys ever eat? Okay, I'm positive you guys have had In-N-Out Burger before, right?
Right.
Okay. When I go to In-N-Out Burger, okay, and I'm practically putting the car in gear, I'm already reaching in the bag to get a handful of fries, because the fries are not any good like 10 minutes later.
True.
Okay, or at least they're not as good. But to me, the moment it comes through my window and that's when you eat the fries. I'll eat the fries first, right? Because that's not worth eating later on, right? So that's one example. A chilled Starbucks drink, those frap drinks. They're basically, they're kind of like slushies in a way. They're blended iced drinks, and when you get them brand new, you drink them. It's like drinking, it's like a granita machine type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But all those things, when they start to melt, it loses separates. It loses a lot of the quality of it, right? So for me, why would I want to have my Starbucks delivered to me if the product is going to be lower quality when it gets to me? There's no way it's not, right? Because Starbucks, the best time to drink is when you first get it handed to you. In-N-Out Burger. When you first get that, that's when you want to eat that part. Certain Chinese foods. Okay, there's some Chinese food that you have to you gotta pick it up and you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it right when you get home, right? Mm-hmm. Typically, when you get something delivered, who knows how long it sits on that counter before the guy gets it and gets it to you, right? By the time it gets to you, I don't know about here, but if you ever had New York Chinese food, like New York City Chinese food, it's known to be really greasy, right? And they put it in those takeout containers, right? It's so greasy that the takeout container just falls apart at some point in time. Yep. That's how greasy it is. And the funny part is that's why it's going to sound really bad, but that's a quality that you like it. It's like, yeah, when it's hot. The second that thing turns even lukewarm, that grease coagulates and it's no longer food. It's nasty. And so, for me, I wouldn't, and it's essentially, if you're using a service like that, you're paying extra money to get your food at a lower quality. That's how I look at it, right? There's some food that's designed to be delivered, right? Like pizza. See, most places where the food was designed to be delivered already has delivery built into it.
Right.
Right? See, if a restaurant doesn't have delivery built into it, its product is not
meant to be delivered. I never thought about it like that.
Right? Because the preparation is different. It's created in such a way that it's made to get you receiving it I like Domino's. No matter what people say, I like Domino's. It gets here and it's good. I mean, like if the delivery guy gets it to me in the right time, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why Domino Delivery, they used to guarantee a certain amount of time to get to you, so that what was it? Less than X number of minutes.
30 minutes or less, wasn't it?
30 minutes or less, right? It's not just for convenience purposes. It's designed that way for the quality of the product. Okay, like one thing that never should be delivered is a salad. In the second that salads start to wilt, right? I mean,
it depends if you got dressing on it.
True, but it's always best not to get it delivered. I mean, so. And some restaurants, because when things like DoorDash first came out, they were servicing restaurants that they didn't have contracts with.
Right.
They were just taking orders and they were putting the orders through, right? And the restaurants had no idea that their products were being delivered until they started getting complaints about quality. They're like, what's going on? Why am I getting these quality complaints? It's because that the food's being delivered. They have no idea. They thought that these were just regular takeout orders from regular people, but they weren't. They were takeout orders to be delivered. And so some of these restaurants actively tried to be removed from the services because there's no...
Oh, yeah. You used to be able to just add somebody to it.
Yeah. So for me, the rise of the delivery service happened during that time. So before that time, people were like, they were on the fence about delivery. It's just like, that's extra. I mean, like you were thinking, do I want to get delivered? I can just go pick it up myself, right? Like if you ever had Papa John's, right? Papa John's does not, do they deliver? I can't remember.
Yeah, they have a delivery service.
Do they? Because they have a price for pickup, and so does Domino's. Domino's has a pickup price, and they have
they have a delivery price.
Yeah. So I can't remember if Papa John's has delivery as well as pickup. So you wonder, do I really want to? So you kind of debate, do I want to pay the extra money for it to be delivered, right? But then when the pandemic happened, it became a thing that had to be done, right? So you kind of, and now people are like, I know that someone that it's funny during this since we know this conversation is going to be out there, I can't say names. Normally I'd say who these people are, right? But I can't say it. So we'll just say someone that we know. Someone that I know orders delivery that way like 5-6 times a week.
Yeah. See, they probably don't want to get up and leave.
Since I don't do it, I don't know how often it gets done for most people.
Mm-hmm.
But,
from being in a restaurant perspective, I see a couple people on a daily, like, really? Probably like, dang, ordering again.
Delivery or takeout? Or
Delivery. I have recurring customers daily too. Like it goes down like that. Like I mean, with some people it's just like some people don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
Another like there's several scenarios like because I also have people who come in wearing pajamas. Those are the type of people where it's just like it's better for you to just use DoorDash. Don't even embarrass yourself.
Don't embarrass yourself.